When receiving an award, tradition has it that you usually thank your family. In this case, the family I would like to thank is one which is not bound by blood, but by tobacco, the tobacco control community. They say it takes a village to raise a child. This also seems to be true for creating a successful global health policy. I've had the privilege of being involved with this work done under the auspices of the World Health Organization for over 20 years now, and the astonishing, absolutely astonishing people who work there. They are like family, and to me, like a family, they have worked extremely hard to nurture what was only once an orphaned area of policy into a strong, healthy success story within WHO. I would like to salute the entirety of the tobacco team at WHO around the world. L.Terry was a visionary. He has left us an extremely important legacy in terms of the high standards we expect from tobacco control and the impact we strive for. I would first like to thank the American Cancer Society for keeping the legacy alive today through these awards. I'm extremely humbled and extremely grateful to be here today with you receiving this award. But in many senses, it's not just mine, because I have been fortunate enough to work with some of the best and most brilliant minds who have collectively made tobacco control the success story that it is today. So I hope that you'll forgive me for using this time now not to talk about me, but to talk about them. When I first began working on tobacco control policy at WHO back in 1998, Dr. Gro Harlem Brundtland, the Director General of WHO, was the key behind creating a backbone of political structures and to push for WHO to exercise its right to create a global health treaty, which ultimately led to the landmark we all know today, the WHO Framework Convention on Tobacco Control. Without the tireless commitment of this woman, the will and momentum needed to carry the work forward would not have happened. She is a superb colleague. Dr. Brundtland was in fact already she received a L.Terry Award of her own. In 2003, she was granted a special recognition award for her leadership of the WHO FCTC. Another person, I see her right here, another person who has been key over the decades to global tobacco control and to me personally has been my mentor, Judith Mackay. Thank you very much, Judith. Judith has also received a L.Terry Award for outstanding individual leadership in 2000, the first time the awards were handed out. I feel like I am following in the footsteps of giants. Judith is a bastion in tobacco control, a guru, so much so that she has been named one of the 3 most dangerous people in the world by the tobacco industry. A worthy accolade. Amongst other achievements, Judith did a remarkable job in leading the business case, presenting that business case to Dr. Brundtland in 1998, for creating the Tobacco Free Initiative and moving forward with the Framework Convention. And out of Judith's steps, our department dedicated to protecting present and future generations from the devastating effects of tobacco came into being. This is now firmly established within WHO and does a phenomenal job of advancing tobacco policy in countries. A third colleague, and I can see Vera in the second row, I'd like to pay tribute to is my former boss, Vera da Costa y Silva. She leads the FCTC Secretariat, and under her guidance, it has blossomed into the gold standard we know and use today. We have worked together for over 20 years and are continuing to work side by side. Most of all, it has been such a privilege working with the talented and committed government officials, many who are in the room today, who negotiated the Framework Convention and who propelled it forward. With the creation and adoption of the WHO Framework Convention on Tobacco Control, we made history in global policy. And with the support of Michael Bloomberg, we made history in global implementation. Mike Bloomberg, as we saw last night, has supported WHO to deliver the WHO FCTC through a ground-level program since 2007. Much of the work led by WHO on tobacco control since then has been based around the Empower package. Empower is a highly practical toolkit based on the WHO FCTC best buys for effective demand reduction. It has become the cornerstone of our offering to countries to help them tackle the tobacco epidemic. Without Mike Bloomberg and Bloomberg Philanthropies, it would not have existed. This is yet another example of how others have made tobacco control the success it is recognized as today. I'm not exaggerating when I say that Mike Bloomberg's initiative has changed the lives of many, from protecting 1 billion when it was first introduced. The best practice Empower measures now protect over 5 billion persons in 2017. It is one of the most successful practical packages supporting the Framework Convention in the world, and I sincerely hope that someday it will protect all 7 billion of the world's inhabitants. This is a tribute to the government leaders and their enormous political will to do the best for their citizens' health and well-being. Mike was one of the earliest to realize the scale of the public health threat posed by tobacco. Under the Bloomberg Initiative, many other partners have also supported this work. Vital Strategies, Johns Hopkins University, the Union, CDC, University of Illinois, and Tobacco Free Kids, Framework Convention Alliance, to name a few. And here in Africa, the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation have also shown extreme foresight through their support of work in Africa and the work of WHO initially to set up the Center for Tobacco Control in Uganda, and also for the extensive tobacco control work in Africa over the last 10 years. In 2009, the Gates Foundation were quick to see the looming crisis of illegal marketing and industry interference in the African region. A perfect storm, as it was described, for tobacco consumption rising, which, as we all know, means death rates also going up. The Gates Foundation saw that by investing in tobacco at that moment, they could also avoid significant harm in the future. This is a preventative action at its finest. Other partners include the Center for Tobacco Control in Africa, the African Capacity Building Foundation, the African Tobacco Control Alliance, American Cancer Society, and also other Gates partners, including SIATCA. So whilst I'm very lucky and privileged to receive this award, from start to finish, this has been a team effort. So from the bottom of my heart, I thank them all, those I have already named, and the many others in this room who know that they have contributed to this work. If I listed them all, we would spend the rest of the conference in this room, and that's not very productive for the future of tobacco control. This future matters because of this conference, because in this conference and in the coming years, I hope that we are able to continue the momentum we have achieved thus far, and which the remarkable L.Terry began. It has been amazing to watch the face of tobacco control morph and change over the past 20 years, and I look forward to seeing what the future holds. What does it hold? But from my perspective, I believe one thing which is important, for WHO at least, is that we remain open to new ways of working. There is a continuous evolution of new ways to protect people, either through policies or services. At WHO, we have been looking at innovations such as SMS-based cessation services or new financing models using tobacco taxes. We're also working hard to block the industry from getting future generations hooked to tobacco. This means closely monitoring what the industry is doing and working with experts to collect evidence to counter tobacco industry interference, and also to counter the newly created industry front groups and foundations. It is also important for tobacco to be acknowledged as more than just a health problem. It is a threat to the environment, to sustainable agriculture, to sustainable development, and to equality. It hurts the more vulnerable hardest in health and socioeconomic terms. There are still many new things which we can and we should be working on to stop this from happening. Finally, and I'm looking at my new boss in the front row, Dr. Axelrod. Finally, thanks to Dr. Tedros, who was here yesterday, and Dr. Axelrod for continuing support for tobacco control leadership at WHO. And I look forward to seeing this happen, so I will stop talking, let you get back to making that tobacco-free future move from vision to reality. And thanks again to the American Cancer Society and for all of the excellent work that you do. Thank you very much.